Hey peeps, Patrick from GameStone. Now for today I got a couple of tips and tricks for beginner players or veterans. Something you might know or not know yet. If they are helpful anyways, please remember to leave a like and a sub. It's just to help the channel. So yeah, let's go and take a look now. Now the first thing I want to talk about is your inventory box. The inventory box, you initially start with one. You can upgrade to the second one, but for the beginning of the game it's going to be pretty expensive, so I would stick to that one. Now if you go further into the game and you make enough money, you can basically buy the second one for 100,000 and the price goes up for the third one and then finally the fourth one. Now the thing that I didn't know is that you can basically stack everything in your inventory box. It goes from sigils to potions, aspect, quest items, gear and weapons. Everything can be stored in there, and you're gonna need that space, because I remember like throwing away a ton of sigils and potions in the beginning because I didn't know I could put it in there. Now the next tip I want to give you is about junking items. Basically, if you go into your inventory and you press square once, then you can set it to scrap. You go to here and then you can basically all junk and junk the item. Now the thing is, what happens a lot with a lot of people, they do this, they just press the upper bottom and then they accidentally junk something. Now what happens is, once you junk the item, basically it's lost, it's gone, you can't recover it anymore, so be really careful while junking an item. Now the next thing I want to talk about are potions and elixirs. Basically you want to make these ones right here, because they're going to give you not only like some buffs like to your critical strike or poison resistance, but they also gain you like 5% experience for 30 minutes. Now the thing is, every time if you're gonna go and fight a group of monsters, like big groups of monsters like in a dungeon or something, you want to have one of those up. Or for other things, you know, just to make it a little bit faster to level, because like leveling right now, I'm now currently at level 79. It goes really slow, you know, so it's very important you do that. And then also the crafting instance here, instances basically they work like potions, but they also affect nearby players. So it's also good if you're gonna do like your very hard nightmare dungeon that you take one. If you're like with multiple players, like you can like swap up, one player can take one instance and you can take another one. So yeah, that's also gonna help you a lot in the game. Now when it comes to nightmare sigils right here, you can also craft them. The thing is, once you want to craft them, you want to make sure you go as high as you basically can, or your group can handle, because it will gain you much more experience for your glyphs basically. Now I myself waited too long with these. I wish I started like earlier with it. I'm pretty much busy with my renown at the moment, so yeah. The thing is, because they're pretty low level, if you can see, I'm level 79 and my rare glyph is only level 10, so yeah, make sure you do it like earlier than I did. Just make sure you mix them in between so you can get more extra power from them. Now the next tip is gonna be where you can assign your skills. Now basically if you go into your skill tree and you press L3 like this, you can assign to a button. Now the thing is, normally in game your basic skill is gonna be on X. What I tend to do is put it on R2 so you can hold it all the time, and then basically you can play around with the rest. Now what I had before was I put a one with the cooldown on my X button. Don't do that. If you want to open a chest or pick up some gold or some loot on the ground, you're gonna miss it and then your cooldown is gonna tick down. So make sure you put one on your X button that uses mana. That's gonna be helpful in the long run. Now the next thing I want to talk about are aspects. Now if you go to the lady here, the oculist, basically you can come over here, you can print and extract aspects. Now for instance, if you extract an aspect from an item that you already have, like for instance this one right here, remove it, then it basically goes to your inventory right here at your aspects. Now also some of them are really there, like this one right here. Now the thing with this one is it only comes from drops. So basically you only can find it if you're doing dungeons or just roaming around the world doing world bosses and you have a legendary piece of gear. You can have that aspect imprinted on there. Now the thing is, you can take it off, but once you imprint it on a piece of weapon, you're not able to take it off again. So like for instance, the one you see here has like a 6% chance to trigger a free cast from unstoppable currents. I used to have one that had 10. And I think what happened is I put it on a weapon and half an hour later I got a way better weapon. So make sure that if you want to put it on a weapon, that the item power is really high. For instance, now I'm at level 74, but I remember being around level 60. Like if you're gonna go 60 and up, at least you have to make sure it's like at least 750, 800, something around there. Then it's like worth on doing it. If you don't, if you do it on a lower piece of gear, then you're basically gonna waste it, you know. So that's pretty important to know also. Now the other thing about aspects is that some of them are basically stronger in your codex of power because they scale with your level. Like for instance, if I go over here and take a look at the aspects of Protector, damaging an elite enemy grants you barrier absorbing up to 3930 damage for 10 seconds. Now this one is bound to your level basically, because if I want to go back over here and then I take one from my inventory, I have one here that's at level 76. You can see the barrier absorbing is up to 3497, so that's considerably less than it was before. So what you basically want to do is always go and check them out before you like take them off somewhere else and put them on, because if it's one with a big number at the ending, the chances might be pretty big that they're basically going to be better in your codex of power. Now that was basically for the video, peeps. Now if it was helpful in any ways, please do remember to leave a like and a sub. Keep yourself safe, and I catch you on the next one. Laters.